Thanks,
Cool.
Stephen, for joining me on my little recap of One Matchstick.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, what I'm doing at the moment is I have set a courageous goal for myself for this year to finish One Matchstick. No matter what, whether it's my first goal, my first prize would be to actually finish the trade and get to some sense of my idea is now like a mixture of virtual and physical office space to help startups. And by end of the year, if I don't make that, I'm ending the story. I don't know, I'll cross that bridge how I end it, but it's finishing this year. First prize is obviously the final trade. So I'm on a mission, and just to remind myself, get it going, get back into the mood of things, I suppose, the energy of it. I've been retelling my story, and you can see I've been speaking to people that I've traded with along the way. But we're up now to my 9th trade. So my last conversation, I actually didn't get to meet up with DJ Al, your pal. He's a very busy man, but I spoke about how I turned the hot air balloon flight into the party for 150 people with DJ Al. And then this is where you come into two things. I put the party up for trade, and I got 2 offers. The one was for, I think it was 1,500 Rand for that party, and the other one, Eric, if you remember Eric Edelstein of, at that time it was Spring Leaf. He tweeted me. Tweets were still very new to me in those days, to most of us. It was in March of 2009, and he said, how many T-shirts would it take to trade with? Yeah, ages ago.
2009.
And I don't know how many T-shirts. I don't know how I could turn quantity of T-shirts into, traded for a party. And I woke up one night. It was actually, I counted 117 days later, at 2 o'clock in the morning. I woke up with this idea, and I wrote it down. I spoke to a few mentors, like, do you think it'll work? And I remember the one is Andy. He said to me, because I worked hard, it would be 375 T-shirts. He said to me, that's a hell of a lot of T-shirts. I'm like, no, man, they're gorgeous T-shirts. But anyway, I finalized the details with Eric, and we shook hands on the 2nd of August, 2009. So I now traded the party for 375 designer T-shirts on springleaf.com. And as when I was reading my blog, the way I worded it was, then I was thinking I actually did 2 trades in one, because that was a trade, right? So now I had 375 T-shirts, but the idea was to trade with 375 individual people and use Springleaf as the facilitator of that trade. So it kind of was 2 trades in one go, my 9th and my 10th trade. So people would buy a T-shirt through Springleaf with a specific code, and the profits of that T-shirt would go to the One Matchstick Fund, if you want to call it. And at the end of 375 T-shirts, I would get that fund and use that to trade on with, to purchase something, or trade with someone for something going forward. So part of that also was, we decided, because Springleaf, I don't know if you want to welcome Stephen to chip in here. I don't know how, maybe we should ask like how you heard about One Matchstick. So how did we meet? Because we met before this. You became part of my story.
What, didn't we meet? Did we meet before or after the board game thing? Was it? Do you remember me showing up at your communal house playing board games?
Yes, we played the cash flow game. We were learning about money, financial independence, and we used to play the cash flow game every second Monday night for many years. It was a very good exercise. I think we originally must have met at one of the it was 27 dinners in those days.
Oh yeah.
Go to 27 dinners.
Yeah. I remember.
Mongizi.
Yeah, and like
DJ, that crowd.
We took the train. We took the first cow train.
Yes, we did one of those events. So there were, I think we had a lot of touch points.
Yeah.
And So Springleaf is they do crowd sourcing. That's what
Yeah,
they
so
use because
so Springleaf, I heard about them through like the internet, basically. Like back then I was making designs for fun. Just making designs is like, back then, was a thing that I did just because you have a really dumb idea in your head and it would go nowhere else. You really literally can't do anything else with it. So Springleaf and other sort of T-shirt competition crowdsourcing sites gave people like me an outlet to say, like, here is a dumb idea. It might make someone laugh. Stick it on a shirt, see what it does.
it looks
No,
it could look good on a T-shirt.
yeah,
And that's what
Springleaf
they
was
did.
interesting in that they had these briefed, targeted assignments, something for crowdsourcing.
Competitions, yeah.
Yeah.
So they would go to all the designers and say, here's a prize, here's a theme, or just submit your design for this month.
Yeah. So there was two kinds. One is the do whatever the hell you want, and the other is like, here's a brief.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's where I saw your thing. I was like, oh, that's fun.
Yeah, because what we did then, part of the trade, we thought we'd come up with a one matchstick T-shirt. So we I had to source a prize, and I went to my network, because everything with one matchstick I've tried to do through bartering, through, exchanges. So it was a mixed mash of donations and participation from people. So our prize for the winning design for the one matchstick T-shirt was a Swatch watch. I don't know if you remember the watch.
Yes, I still have it. I have since then stopped wearing watches, period. So it's kind of just
we don't need them anymore.
Well, I don't like things like hanging on me. Like, especially around laptop, if you put your wrist on the laptop, this thing touching the thing is just But anyway, it's a very lovely watch, and I still keep it as a memorabilia.
Cool. I'm gonna just pause for a moment here. So we came up with the prize. I'll go into the detail maybe when we get to the prize giving part. And for a month, I think we looked for offers or for designs, and I know I got 10 designs altogether. And I think yours was the last. I think if I read my blog, I contacted you and said, you must enter your design. And you spent, like quite a bit of time at night, got it in time, and then we chose, and your design won. And I'll type in the show a few photos just now, but so yeah, your design of the one matchstick T-shirt became the official one matchstick T-shirt, and then people could buy the T-shirt and trade with me. Maybe let's finish around the T-shirt. So that Swatch watch was actually given to me by a friend. There's the design winning. Yeah. I'm also wearing it. The Swatch watch was given to me by a very close friend who actually passed away a few weeks after giving it to me. So it was,
oh, wow.
It was very sad. Yeah. So I'm glad to hear you still got it. Yeah, wow. Very, very tragic. You also got 1,000 Rand from Bid or Buy to spend on a voucher there to go and bid or buy things.
Honestly, it was 10 years ago and I can't remember.
Well, you did. You got a Poken from Tim of Poken. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
Those little things that had a, and
the button and the hand. Yeah, it was a great idea.
Flash disc. Yeah.
I still use the flash disc. Have you ever run into anyone using those? Me neither. But it was a cool idea.
It was a cool idea because the idea was you would touch hands, your two little gizmos, and it would transfer all your contact information. It was like an electronic business card.
It's a
so you got
business
one of
card
those
without the paper.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was ways you could ghost the person. I remember there was a way. Yeah, well, I think it's called ghosting, where you do something so they think you've swapped information, but you actually haven't.
Wow.
It was quite a sneaky little.
Yeah.
I offered you coaching, a breakthrough session. It was part of the prize. So if you ever saw one, I don't think you ever took it up, but there's a coaching thing. You got 3 T-shirts and 10 tickets to the party that probably will never happen because of Spring Leap doesn't exist anymore, but or definitely not in the format that it is. But
yeah.
but that was the prizes, yeah.
Yeah.
So what got you to design this T-shirt? I might just maybe.
Well,
let's get here just some photos. There was I thought I'd show the picture. There was DJ Al that I traded with for the party, and then there's Eric.
There's Eric.
Shaking hands. It was at some expo, because then I went from there to, this is Eran, who did the operational side of Spring Leap and who I spoke with mostly. And then we're actually down in their office, and there's some pictures of the T-shirts, and we're all wearing, I think, different Spring Leap T-shirts.
Spring Leap T-shirts. I have visited their office once as well.
Yeah, on those days. And then I even did graffiti to try and advertise. There's me and my friend Carol. We did some graffiti, and that's the T-shirt design. And there's a
hey, Aiden.
Aiden, who at that time was a no money guy.
Is he still doing that?
No.
Okay.
No,
yeah, but it was quite a mission.
Yeah, he lived for quite a while. He's on a commune or a farm somewhere at the moment.
So close enough.
Yeah. Why did you call it? You call this mission not impossible?
I mean, it seems like it. When you first hear about something like this, you think, man, that's impossible. But it's not impossible because someone is doing it. You know, you're actually chasing it. You're doing it. So like, and I like the idea. I think maybe the movie was out at that time. I don't know. I was 10 years ago. And obviously I've got, what's his name? Hernandez or
Rodriguez, the frog.
Rodriguez, there we go. Also,
Rod the frog hanging there.
I apologize for for the cultural insensitivity, but yeah, Rodriguez the frog as what's his face, Tom Cruise. Yeah, and I put in all the elements I could think of the matchstick story up till that point as texture.
Yeah, you've got everything from the party, the cash that I traded, the matchstick, the pen, the 375 T-shirts, the 2 cases of wine.
Yeah, if you go and count those T-shirts, they are, no, I'm just kidding, there isn't. Too many. But yeah.
But yeah, it was, and it was red, which I think was just so striking. So yeah, there we are with Andy when he gave you the voucher from Dubai. Andy's
drunk.
The founder of Dubai. And with Tim from Poken.
Yes.
And then yeah, I went on. Part of my story, if you remember, to try and trade the T-shirts, is that I did the first swarm party in Africa, where we unlocked that badge, and we only actually unlocked the 50 swarm badge. This was in Foursquare. The days of Foursquare. Do you remember?
Yeah, Foursquare. Yeah. I was like, what is swarm? And then I just remembered, yes, Foursquare.
Yeah, so entry to the swarm party was a T-shirt. You had to buy, well, with your entry, your ticket, you got a Spring Leap T-shirt. Or you could just come, I think, for these got their charge of 40 Rand. Yeah, so just thought I would show. Because also, so I did that, I did quite a few events. I started doing 3-way trades. I don't know if you recall that either. People didn't want to buy the T-shirt, or they didn't want a T-shirt, but they offered me, or they did, but they offered me a product or service instead of cash.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Cash is just, it's an odd thing to barter with.
Yeah, cash is like when you want to do trades, the whole point of it is the trade. But like, it's funny to think about it in terms of economics, and that's what fundamentally makes money. It makes trade easier because but it's a
Because
very
it's a understand value that we all agree to.
it's what's his name? It's fungible.
Which means?
Fungible means it can be split into parts. So like you know about NFTs and all that crazy stuff going on right now. Those are non-fungible token, means a token is a token is a token. You can't split one thing into many things.
Split it up.
But money can be split up. Like 100 Rand means 50/50 or etc. So
yes.
fungible, you can manipulate the value, not manipulate, you can break down value to more precise bits, rather than say like, if I want a piece of butter, I'm gonna have to give you a shirt. Or what if a shirt is worth more than a butter? Then I can't give you half a shirt.
Yeah. That's a term I haven't heard about, but that's definitely part of it. And it's a very specific value because of money. We measure it. Whereas what I'm trying to do is perceived value. So always from my side, I think I'm going up in value. Whereas for everyone else, I'm hoping they perceive it as a fair exchange. So people there were started offering me things. I got offered a diamond, the rock climbing lessons. Nikki, the first lady I traded with, Nikki Filion, she offered me one of her workshops. So I actually traded there, and she bought a T-shirt. So Nikki's the one person I've done 3 distinct trades with at different times of my journey. She's awesome support. But so a hypnosis session, baobab balls. Baobab, the seed. They're like a ball. They're big like that. And someone had gone and painted them, and they offered me a whole bag of these baobab balls. And actually, my mom traded for those. She's still got the baobab balls in her lounge. But I did these 3 ways where I would find someone else who wanted, say, like my mother wanted the baobab ball. So she paid the money for the T-shirt. The T-shirt went to the person, I can't remember now, who offered me the baobab ball. And she, so we did these 3 ways. Walter Pike, who's also since passed on. Remember Walter Pike? He was very involved in social media and activism. He gave a talk. He gave a talk, and then we also people would buy T-shirts to come and hear him do one of his talks. Anyway, it's a lot of 3-way trades.
That kind of reminds me of okay, this is a tangent, but there's a thing called math trade. Okay, what that is a bunch of people who are into board games and have things to trade. Like, I have this game I want to trade for something, but it's not necessarily equivalent value. So what they do is they get a whole bunch of people, put all of what they want to trade away into a spreadsheet, a format, a collection, and then someone mathematically works out, like, so you also say like, I want what, and then someone goes through all of that with algorithms and works out like how the trade would happen en masse, like between everyone, so that everyone gets.
Oh wow!
It's crazy. It's called a math trade because it's math heavy or something.
Lots of maths in it. No, there is. Yeah.
It's nuts, but like, it's interesting that people can figure out these things to sidestep the need for money. I think it is good to think not in terms of just commercial value.
Absolutely. And you've given me two new terms around it: maths trading and fungible. To add to my repertoire of trading. So part of it also, so I just wanted to say one thing. I ended up actually, because people kept asking, what does a one match spring leaf T-shirt look like? So it took me 2 years and just under 2 months, 2 years and 2 months to trade the 375 T-shirts with nearly 375 people. Some people bought more than one T-shirt. So I must work out exactly how many people I traded with, but it's in the hundreds of people. To took a lot of work. It took a lot more work than I thought. Just like my mentor said to me, it's going to be difficult. And I'm like, no, man, everyone loves the T-shirt. I pledged to only wear T-shirts, and it ended up for a year I only wore Springleaf T-shirts, so that I always had a T-shirt to show people the quality and, with me, because I was wearing them. That was also a crazy idea. I even went to a formal wedding in a T-shirt. And
That's right.
to make it look smart, I actually hired a tucked tail jacket. All that over my T-shirt. Anyway,
I will say that.
Yeah.
Also a tangent. I've been learning to sew, and a T-shirt is actually one of the hardest things to sew by hand.
Oh wow!
Annoyingly, because of the collar thing. This collar bit is yeah. So I tried it and I was like, whoa, this is hard. Anyway, tangent.
No, that's interesting to know. Relevant tangent. Because this is all about T-shirts. This trade 9 and 10 was 375 T-shirts. And then on the 21st of September 2011, I traded my last T-shirt with a guy called Martin. I was very excited. Finally finished that trade. Maybe just to end off, just with the trading part, it actually took a few months for me to finalize the trade with Springleaf. There were obviously some issues happening internally, and I actually thought onematchstick was going to die there. I thought that was the end, because they were battling to fulfill, for whatever reason, they started the bargain, but they came through, which I'm very grateful for the guys at Springleaf. They came through, they finished their side of the deal, and so that was in September. And then January the next year, I announced my next item up for trade, which I'm talking about that tomorrow. So I'm not going to tell anything else yet today. But I just wanted to thank you, Stephen, for being a part of my journey. You've been a support. I remember that time when you came to all my little crazy events and gatherings and networking.
Let's be honest. I did it because it was fun. To adventure around like just weird stuff, like things out of the ordinary, off the beaten path. So yeah, I thank you too for showing people things, including myself. Yeah.
Awesome, and your T-shirt is still spoken of. I actually got someone just this last 2 weeks asking me if I still had any left. They've outgrown their T-shirt. They want a new one.
Oh wow!
So the onematchstick official T-shirt is still well known. It's still worn. It's still cherished by people. So, and I think it's a very good design. I really was blown away by the creativity and the thought that went into it, because you put the whole story in one image, and the name Mission Not Impossible. Anyway. Yes, up to that point. What are you doing today? Do you want to share anything with? Yeah, what are you up to nowadays? You're not designing T-shirts anymore. Huh? You're making them.
Well, I've learned to sew, but as a hobby, I made this, which is a hoodie. A gold
hoodie.
Wow. And I'll tell you, this was easier to make than a T-shirt, because before this I tried a T-shirt and I was like, no. I traced the pattern of a shirt, and anyway, the point is I'm making that because I'm going to Africa Burn next week.
Oh yes.
And I've been like making a bunch of sparkly things to go to Africa Burn with. Sewing is fun. Besides that, awesome. I work at a company called 24-Bit Games, game development. I work with game design and VR stuff on projects I can't talk about because NDA.
Yeah, but so you're still designing though. That's the main thing. And I know you've taken up roller skating, rollerblading.
Rollerblading is fun.
Passion.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of fun. Weather like this is not fun, but like, yeah, I try to make it daily. I started August last year. got a pair of skates at Decathlon, and yeah, just started falling. So you stop falling eventually. Yeah, I can go fast now, and stopping is hard.
It is. It's so hard. I still battle many years, decades later on my blades. I blade, yes. I love it, yeah.
Are you still doing it?
Organize. Yes, when I can. There's not many places here. When I was overseas and I lived overseas, there were way more places.
Yeah, location is hard to find. I've been spotting a few. For example, the parking lot at Epsom Downs, they let you blade. Because I was skating at 2 other parking lots and they kicked me off. Which is very annoying because like I'm skating at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. and nothing else is happening. I'm not near anything, but they just think you're a delinquent or something. I'm a 40-year-old delinquent or something. So I'm very grateful to find Epsom Downs, but there are also rinks around. There's a group of us called Magic 8 Skate Club. Yes. And there's a bunch of people who skate. We hang out sometimes. This Friday, we just had a social at a rink in Boxburg. That was fun.
Oh, I think that was the last story I saw of yours. Yeah.
Yeah, but everyone is on skates, and I'm the only one on blades.
Skates is easier to learn and easier to tricks on, but blades you go faster on.
Yeah.
You still do tricks, but they're a bit more difficult, apparently.
Mainly they're on skates because of roller derby.
Yes,
like that's a big deal. People like, gung-ho derbiers, and I'm just like, I just want to go fast.
I just wanted to be on wheels, I should say.
Yeah, I don't want to have to like show off my bruises because that's what derby people do.
Yeah, but that sport is a full-on contact sport.
Yeah, they love it and it's cool. Not for me, thanks.
And I think that was something that also struck me especially when I read the blog I wrote. I can't believe my writing from years ago. It's quite funny reading it again. But attached to this will be a link to the blog post, the new blog. I've started a new blog where I'm recapping this, and there's got links to all these little stories. So if you want to go read how I wrote about them, though, in 2009 and 2010, 11.
Gosh,
but the one thing I wrote about you is that you were always learning something. You were very active and busy, and you think
I guess it's true. I guess it's true.
So. Yeah. But again, thank you so much for being a part of my story, for the One Matchstick official T-shirt, and for coming to talk to me about my journey to where we are today. Going ahead. Tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I'm speaking to the next person I traded with and what we offered. So I'm going to keep that until then. And this was, a 2-month journey of 375 T-shirts. And what a story today. So thanks again, Steve. Have a good rest of your Sunday.
Thank you very much for involving all the people that you have involved. It's a great journey, a great adventure to be a part of. Thank you as well.
Well, cool. I hope you'll stay part of it, because the next step, remember, is to help startup entrepreneurs. We're going to get more people creating businesses to create jobs, which we need so desperately, especially in these times.
Especially now, yeah.
So, you're a part of that. So I hope you'll continue, and let's see what we can do, what difference we can make.
Cool.
Cool. Thanks. I'm going to say goodbye. There's no questions from Facebook. No, nothing. So any questions, pop them in the chat below, and Steve and I'm sure we'll answer what we can. Otherwise, see you tomorrow for the next live. Cheers.
Cool.